last minute revision biology class. So in this class today, we are going to look at the most repeated questions on endocrine system. Remember, we just finished discussing the entire topic on endocrine system. So for those of you that want the full video to the lesson, be sure to inbox me. The number will be on the screen. Yeah, so what will we cover in this last minute revision question session? So in this video, we'll just focus on the questions which you are expecting in your endocrine topic. So make sure that you apply what I taught you in those two lessons on endocrine. I have part 1 and part 2 videos. So be sure to inbox for the links to the video. So now in this video we are going to solve now section B questions, and we'll also look at some of the essay questions which you are expected to find on this topic. So to begin, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment your next topic which you want to be helped with, and also share the video to your friends. So let's begin. So figure 2.1 and figure 2.2 shows endocrine gland. So this is the gland Q, sorry. So yeah, so figure 2.1 and 2.2 show two endocrine glands labeled P and Q respective. So this is figure 2.1 and this is figure 2.2. So this is the area. Yeah, so now this is a diagram representing two endocrine glands. Remember, I told you how many endocrine glands should you remember? You should remember 5. So the first one should be the pituitary gland. Then the second one should be the adrenal gland. Then we also have the pancreas. We also have the thyroid gland. We also have the ovaries, the testes. Yeah, so these are some of the glands which you do know for your exams. But the most important one which you should remember are, you need to know the pituitary gland, the adrenal gland, and this. So these 4 are the top important glands which you should do know. So now getting back to our question. So among these glands which I've mentioned, which glands are the ones which are represented here? So our first question is asking us to identify the endocrine glands P and Q. So how can you identify these glands? So these glands, for you to identify them, you have to know where the location which they are found. Remember, in the video I showed you the locations. So we have our first gland, which is the adrenal gland. So I said the adrenal gland is located at the top of the kidney. So if we see that, oh, these are kidneys, meaning our gland P is what? The adrenal gland, which is at the top of the kidney. So this is how you can know that this is the adrenal gland which they are talking about. Whenever you hear the word kidney, whatever gland is associated to the kidney is what? The adrenal gland. Now moving on to gland Q. How can you identify that this is gland Q? So remember, gland Q looks like what? A leaf. So whenever you see something which looks like a leaf, just know that they are talking about The pancreas. So the pancreas has a shape of a leaf. So meaning our gland Q is the pancreas. Yeah. So once you do like this, meaning you have solved your question 1, you have gotten your 2 marks. Moving on to our question 2. State one hormone produced by each gland. So remember, we said that the adrenal gland basically produces a hormone which is known as adrenaline. Yeah. So how can you remember? So adrenaline from adrenal. So just remember that from adrenal gland, just add line, meaning the adrenal gland produces what? Adrenaline, which is also known as the what? The fight or flight hormone. So this is the hormone which is responsible for getting you into fights when you are hungry, for making you to run when you see something scary. This is the hormone, the adrenaline, produced by the adrenal gland, located at the top of the kidney. This is what you need to remember on the adrenal gland. Now, hormone produced by Q. Remember, I told you that the pancreas produces 2 hormones. So, when we are talking about hormones produced by the pancreas, so we have 2 hormones which are produced by the pancreas. We have insulin and glucagon. So these are the 2 hormones which you need to remember whenever you hear the word pancreas. So the pancreas as an endocrine organ, it produces insulin and glucagon. So here you can pick any. You can either pick insulin or glucagon. So I've explained what insulin and glucagon can do in a video where I talked about insulin and glucagon. Be sure to check it on my channel. Yeah. So moving on to our answer. So hormone produced by gland Q, which is the pancreas, you can either say insulin or glucagon. So here, don't put 2, just go with one which you remember. If you remember insulin, put insulin. If you remember glucagon, put glucagon. Moving on to our question 3. Explain how the hormone produced by gland P stated in A2 above play a role in coordination. So now they are asking you, how does the adrenaline hormone help you to coordinate the movement of your body? How does it help? So we are talking about the adrenal gland. So how does this gland help you in coordination? So the adrenaline, we said that it is produced by what? By the adrenal gland. Yeah, so we said that once it is produced by the adrenal gland, it does what? It boosts the changing of glycogen to glucose. It basically increases the energy levels in your body. So whenever you hear the word adrenaline, you have to think about all the organs which are responsible in increasing energy in your body. What are those organs? So we have the liver, which is responsible for converting glycogen to glucose. We have the heart. I said it increases the heart rate. We have the lungs, where I said it does what? It increases the what? The breathing rate. Then we also have the eyes, where it dilates the pupil so that you are alert to danger. So these are some of the what? Of the changes or of the law it plays in coordination. So how can you write now here? How can you explain the what? So how can you explain now the law? So you can say now like you. So the hormone produced by gland P. So you can say that it acts on the, you write the organs, it acts on the organs like the heart, liver, lungs, and eyes. So we are saying that it acts on how many organs? The heart, liver, lungs, and the eyes. So it does different things to these 4 organs. So now what can you say? So the first thing in general, just say in general. So in general, it does what? It increases the heart rate, breathing rate, and the conversion of glycogen to glucose. That's so. So once you say like this, meaning you have explained how adrenaline plays a role in what? In coordination. It acts on organs like the heart, the liver, lungs, and eyes. And it increases the what? The heart rate of the heart, the breathing rate in lungs, and the conversion of glycogen to glucose in the liver. You have explained to them. Moving on to our part B. Explain the other role played by gland Q apart from producing hormones. So remember I said gland what? Q. So we are talking about the pancreas. So remember that the pancreas is both an endocrine and exocrine gland, meaning it works on coordination and it also works in the digestive system. So here now they are saying the other role. So meaning here they want you to explain how the pancreas plays a role in digestion. So you can say that the pancreas is, so the pancreas, so you can say that the pancreas produces pancreatic juice. So what is pancreatic juice? So pancreatic juice contains enzymes such as amylase, lipase, and also protease. So what are these enzymes? So these 3 enzymes, they are responsible for, so the pancreas produces pancreatic juice containing amylase, lipase, and protease, responsible for digestion of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins in the duodenum. So remember, the pancreatic juice, once it is released from the pancreas, it is released into the duodenum, not the stomach. So you have to understand this process. Then what does the pancreatic juice contains? Amylase, lipase, and protease. So responsible for, so amylase is responsible for the digestion of carbohydrate. lipase responsible for the digestion of lipids, and protease responsible for the digestion of protein. So this was our first revision questions which you can expect on the topic of endocrine. Moving on to our second question. Question 3. So question 3 is saying complete the table 3.1 by filling in the blank spaces. So this is another way, or this is how you should be expecting questions on what? On endocrine system. They just don't come straightforward. So they come like this. So you need to also understand how questions come. Because if you just read through notes, if a question comes like this, I guarantee you won't know how to go about it. But by going through this last minute revision, you will know how